NFL Week 2 predictions. Oh man. Week 1 went by pretty quick. We had pretty close games. We had a playoff caliber game already, which is pretty friggin' crazy. Um and there was also teams that I thought were going to do good that did absolutely horrible. But anyway, last week on my predictions, I went a nice 11 and 5. And I think that's the best start to my predictions so far, if I'm not mistaken. But we got week 2 predictions now, and let's just get right into it. The first game that we have is the Thursday night game between the Commanders and the Packers. And oh boy, if there was a game that it was going to be very hard for me to pick, it was this one. Both teams, they won their games, and Packers, they looked pretty good. They only held the Lions to 13 points, and the Commanders, they held the Giants to 6. So this game definitely going to be a very hard one for me to pick out. But I feel like if any team was better, it would probably be the Packers here. So I am going to go with the Packers for the win here. Next, we have the Giants and the Cowboys. Oh boy. Cowboys, they lost only by 4. And the Giants, they just talked about that game. They got only held to 6 points by the Commanders. I feel like the Cowboys definitely should win this one, just because Cowboys they've always seemed to be like the better team against the Giants, and now with the Giants really not doing too great at the start of the season, also it already seems like there's a little bit of a feud going on with Malik Neighbors and Brian Daboll, I believe. Um, I I'm not too sure if they updated us on that or anything, but I do have the Cowboys winning here. Next, we have the Seahawks and the Steelers. This one was a little bit of a toss up for me to pick because the Steelers they only lost they didn't lose. They won by 2 against the Jets. And then the Seahawks they lost by 4 against the 49ers. So this one definitely a toss up, but I feel like the Steelers will definitely get the win here. I just feel like that Steelers offense will be super good against the Seahawks defense. And the Seahawks offense, it could give the Steelers defense some problems. But also the Steelers have Jalen Ramsey now, and it seems like he is doing decently well for the Steelers, at least for the first week of the season. So I'm going to have to go with the Steelers here for the win. Next is the Rams and the Titans. I feel like this is going to be a good game. Um, the Titans, they they were they were doing something against the Broncos until it seemed like they just couldn't get anything done. Um, and the Rams, they they won a close game with the Texans. Their game really wasn't the best. Um, Also, Puka Nakua ended up bleeding during that game. But Rams definitely look like the better team here still. Um, Cam Ward in his debut, though, he did look pretty decent. And I do hope the Titans do get better throughout the season But as of right now, I have the Rams winning this game. Bills versus Jets is next, and whoo boy, Bills, they won by 1 point against the Ravens, and the Jets, they lost by 2 against the Steelers. I didn't think the Jets were going to look that great this year. But, man, this game, I I always was going to pick the Bills to win here. But after seeing the Jets play on Sunday and what they did against the Steelers, I feel like this might be a hard game for the Bills. But Bills, they should still win this one just because they're the Bills and they're the best in the AFC East. I know a lot of people in the AFC East are going to have a problem with me saying that, but it's true. Patriots and Dolphins are next. And yeah, Dolphins, they looked absolutely horrible against Indiana Jones and the Colts, where they lost 33-8. And the Patriots, they lost 20-13 against the Raiders. And honestly, the defense looked pretty good other than our secondary. And the Dolphins just looked horrible all around. Obviously, the Dolphins are at home, so this is going to be very hard for me to pick because it's a divisional game and also we're playing in their territory. But I feel like the Patriots could get the win here. Not too sure if Christian Gonzalez is going to be back. There hasn't been any update as of yet when he would be, but I do have the Patriots winning if he does come back. But if he doesn't, I'll still have them winning just because I'm being loyal to my team. I don't mean my team as in I own the team. I mean my team as it's the team that I support in the NFL. The Jaguars and Bengals are next, and honestly, this game could probably go either way. The Bengals, they only won by 1 point against the Browns, and the Jaguars, they won 26-10 against the Panthers. I do feel like the Bengals could still be the better team here. They would probably get the win. I just feel like this game is going to be a very hard fought game for both teams. And at the end of it, I feel like the Bengals will probably take that win by a very, very small margin. Probably like 3 points to a touchdown. Like, that's how slim of a margin I'm talking about. Nothing like 1 point, like how the Bengals won last week, though. So, Bengals, you're getting the win here. Then we had the San Francisco 49ers and the New Orleans Saints. And, man, 49ers, like I mentioned earlier, they won by 4 points against the Seahawks. And the Saints, they I have to look. They lost to the Cardinals 20-13. Do I have faith that they will get the win? Probably not. So I feel like the 49ers would probably get the win here, but also they're dealing with a few injuries. George Kittle going to be out. Brock Purdy questionable as of right now. Not too sure if he'll play. And if he's not able to, Mac Jones is going in. And if Mac Jones is in there, I don't know if that team will win that game. but I'm going to have to stick with the 49ers here just in case if Brock Purdy does play, because if he does, then the 49ers will most likely get this win. So, 49ers fans, hope you guys are happy that I picked you guys to win. Browns versus Ravens is next, and honestly, I'm just going to go right out and say it. Ravens, they're going to win this game. Derrick Henry, just absolutely a beast. He's pretty much starting off right where he was at last year. And Browns fans, you guys should be probably a little scared about this. Um, you guys only lost by 1 point against the Bengals last week, and now you're gonna have to face another rival. That's not a fun time. But the Ravens, they're absolutely gonna demolish the Browns. That's not even gonna be a fair game, to be completely honest. So yeah, Ravens, you guys are gonna get the win. Bears versus Lions is next, and oh boy, both of these teams losing to division rivals, and now they're both gonna have to face each other as division rivals and see which team is going to be the better one. The Lions, they lost to the Packers, and the Vikings, they won against the Bears. And the Bears, they actually looked good in their game before all of a sudden just not being able to stop JJ McCarthy and all of them. But I feel like this game is probably going to be a good game. Um, I feel like that Lions game. I feel like that Lions game was just a very rusty game, and also that was the first game with the new coordinators and stuff. So we'll just have to see how they do this week against the Bears, who have Ben Johnson. Oh boy. Honestly, I should have probably picked the Bears here to win. Actually, no, I can't. I don't feel like I can. Uh Bears fans, I'm sorry, but I'm going with the Lions here to win. And Lions fans, I hope you all are happy that I picked you guys. Broncos versus Colts. This one looks to be like a fun one after Daniel Jones put up 33 points against the Dolphins, and the Broncos didn't really look all that great at the start, but had a pretty good finish against the Titans as they won. And I feel like this is going to be a very good game. If the Broncos can keep the takeaways down, I feel like the Broncos can win. And the Colts, I mean, they look pretty good in that game. But also it's Daniel Jones. I don't really trust him all that much. That game was good and all, but I still don't trust him just because he has been pretty bad. So I am gonna go with the Broncos here for the win. Panthers versus Cardinals is next. And Cardinals, they won their game last week. Panthers, they lost. Honestly, not too high on the Panthers winning here. So I have the Cardinals winning, and I I really do have high hopes that the Cardinals start at 2-0 this season. Um, I say that because the Panthers, they really couldn't do anything against the Jaguars, and also the Cardinals, they looked pretty good against the Saints, and damn, that's a lot of noise. Uh, Hopefully the mic doesn't pick that up. But anyway, um, the Cardinals, like I said earlier, they won 20-13 against the Saints, and I just feel like the Cardinals are still a better team than the Panthers as of right now. So I am going to go with the Cardinals here for the win. Then we have the rematch of the Super Bowl, the Chiefs and the Eagles. And honestly, not too sure how this game's going to go. The Chiefs lost their first game of the season, and the Eagles, they barely won against the Cowboys. So this game could go either way, but I do feel like the Eagles could get the win here. I just feel like they could still be that team that beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. That that and also they they're also gonna have Jalen Carter. He's not suspended or anything. He just got fined. So that's really another reason why I think they're gonna win. So Eagles fans, hope you're happy that I'm giving you this win. Then we had the Falcons and the Vikings. The Vikings, oh boy, they had a up and down game, or should I say down and up, as they did not look good in the first half of their game, but then looked pretty good in their second half. Um, the Falcons, they kept it pretty close with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but ultimately lost. And honestly, I feel like the Falcons could get the win here just because I feel like they are the better team in this situation. We have not seen too much of JJ McCarthy too much just yet. Um and plus two, he did play pretty bad for a good amount of that first game last week. So I feel like the Falcons could get the easy win here. Buccaneers versus Texans. This one's going to be a fun one. Buccaneers came off the win against the Falcons, who I actually just mentioned. And the Texans, they lost against the Rams, but I mean, it seemed like it was at least a little close. I mean, they practically had the score of 3 field goals. That's about it. Not too sure what happened last week with them though. But Buccaneers, they looked pretty good. I know they just extended someone too not too long ago. So they got they got another piece back. And honestly, Buccaneers, they definitely shouldn't have a problem with the win here. Last but not least, Monday Night Football. Well, actually, one of two of them. The other one being the Buccaneers and Texans game that I just mentioned. The Chargers and the Raiders. This one's going to be a late one, as holy shit, it's getting played at 10 o'clock at night. I don't know how I feel about that one, but we are we're looking at the Chargers, who just beat the Chiefs, and the Raiders, who beat the Patriots. Um Honestly, I feel like the Chargers are definitely going to get the win here just because they they beat the better team. And also, the Chiefs, they could have won that game if they still had Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy got injured, and yeah, after that, they they could not do much. And their receiver room just does not look good anyway. So, but the Raiders, they beat the Patriots, and it was a decently close game. They they really couldn't do much in the first half of that game, and I'm kind of happy about that one since I'm a Patriots fan. But but I do feel like the Chargers will get the win here. Raiders, they did look good uh during this past Sunday, but the Chargers, they beat the team that everyone wants to beat. So I'm giving the Chargers the win here. And for my little recap here, I have the Packers over the Commanders, the Cowboys over the Giants, Steelers over the Seahawks, Rams over the Titans, the Bills over the Jets, the Patriots over the Dolphins, the Bengals over the Jaguars, the 49ers over the Saints, the Ravens over the Browns, the Lions over the Bears, Broncos over the Colts, Cardinals over the Panthers, Eagles over the Chiefs, Falcons over the Vikings, Buccaneers over the Texans, and the Chargers over the Raiders. Hope you guys like, subscribe, comment, do really whatever you want to do. Hope you guys also like this video. I thought I was gonna say something that I thought I was gonna say something that I was gonna repeat, but I did not. So I'm happy. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you all in the next one. See you around.